All right, welcome back everybody. This is David with Faramir's Rangers, and we're picking up back with our next part of our France campaign. I believe it's episode 6. And guys, I've done a thing. I don't know if you can notice yet, but there's something different about the mobile app that I've done. Can you see it? Yeah, it's the cursor. I've actually attached a mouse and keyboard. I got tired of the touchpad. I must admit, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I Bluetoothed a keyboard and mouse to the iPad. So here we go. We're picking back up with this last spot where we left off. We're attacking the Dutch here at Belgium. And we're going to see if we can go ahead and take them out. This should be quite a bit easier now that we have a keyboard and mouse. It's going to feel a lot more like home. A lot more like home. But I will tell you, it's still not without its challenges because the screen is pretty darn small. And I've got this iPad kind of sort of hovering between the desk and me. And I mean, things are different. But it's definitely easier using the keyboard and mouse. I just, like I said, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it anymore. But anyways, you can see here I'm doing the grouping trick. And now I got all my line infantry grouped together. Did that simply by grouping them together and ungrouping. Which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome indeed. You can see I've got a little bit of a roughed up army from that last battle where we fended off the Savoy army. But we got some freshly recruited units also joining the fray. 5 of them, one of them a Bulkley, which is my favorite French unit. So here we go. We're off to knock the Dutch out of Belgium. So let's get set up and then we'll get to it. All right, before we get started with this battle, it is kind of fortunate that the Dutch did move off some of their forces that took Belgium back to United Provinces or to the Netherlands, which is kind of nice. But I mean, it's obvious that they needed to do that because, number one, they still need to defend their homeland. You got the Prussians that are attacking the Dutch. They keep busting up their port, so I imagine they want to make sure that the Netherlands are protected. That would be the wise thing to do anyways. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and start advancing forward. This is going to take a little bit of time. The Dutch are set back quite a ways, so we'll just continue to maneuver forward, and then we'll situate things and see how we're going to attack them. They do have artillery on either flank, 2 on the right, and I believe just 1 artillery on their left. So we will see how they maneuver and how we can attack and see if we can bump out some of that artillery or if we'll just have to live with the damage as we move forward. So I don't know if you're noticing, but it even though this is way easier, as I said, with the keyboard and the mouse, I mean, it is still a little bit of a challenge because the screen is so small, so I can't really do large troop movements like I can on the PC. So we're going to have to maneuver in smaller chunks, which is fine. Just takes us a little bit more micro, but definitely not as much as before. The artillery shots are getting real close to my lancers, so I'm gonna go ahead and move them off more to the right. Now I don't think that the that Farrell fixed the artillery problem when they're in these barricades. Seems like their range is still pretty limited for the artillery if they're placed in those barricades. So we're going to use that to our advantage and come around the flank And it looks like the Dutch have moved all of their main body of their force to our left wing of our army, which is nice because now that's left those 2 artillery alone by themselves on our right. So we'll be able to take them out with the Lancers as we move forward. They're getting real close to hitting my cav over here as well, so we'll go ahead and move them off to the left. And we'll check on this. Yeah, it does look like they've left both artillery pieces all by their onesies, so we will move our Lancers up. Now my line infantry here is under fire, but there's a little bit of dip, so all the artillery shots are pretty much going over my head. Right here, you can see that it's hitting the ground there, or it's going clear above. So I'm going to move some of these probably within some hit range, but my Lancers will soon take out this artillery. I shouldn't lose too many men nonetheless. They do have the show to freeze those spikes down, so we've got to be wary of that as we advance our army forward over here. So I'll probably have to traverse some of my men through the town after we destroy this artillery. Almost have the Lancers in place. Just want to make sure they don't get any men hit on those spikes of the chevaux, the freeze. And we have gotten around, so let's go ahead and launch an assault on them. I should probably let them rest a little bit before we do it, but hey, let's just get it done. We'll get you some close-up action on this. Looking pretty sweet. Tablet, man, I tell you, Farrell has done an amazing job with the graphics on this. It just looks so clean and crisp. I mean, I can't state it enough of how good this looks. I mean, it's not blocky or anything like it sometimes gets in the PC version, so really impressed with it. You know, one thing I always thought was kind of weird is the Lancers, how they always stab the guys from the other end of the lance rather than the bigger, sharper, pointier end. I just don't know why the animations couldn't flip that darn spear around. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. Because you would think that spike part is not, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is the part that they're supposed to use. It just seems odd. Seems like the bigger, sharper end would be where you would do that, but whatever. All right, so we're going to start doing a development now. I'm getting, like I said, some damage from this artillery, but that's fine. I'm willing to sustain some solid shot damage because it won't be severe if I can maneuver the Dutch army in a way that I can minimize my losses. And sometimes you have to take some damage to get that done, because by moving my men over there within that artillery range, it is allowing me to maneuver around them. Not at the moment, but you'll see this as we move forward. We're going to start traversing these line infantry through the city or the town, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's probably more fitting of a town than a city. So let's go ahead and start moving through there, and we'll continue to form up over here. We'll start pushing the left a little bit more and see what the Dutch will do and how they're going to shift their alignment as we move forward. Okay, so they've let's see if we can go ahead and get our men over here. We'll flank around them. I want to envelop them as much as possible. So we'll see how we can accomplish that. Okay. You know, I can't see the red lines on this version of the game like you can in the PC version. Because I'm assuming that's why I can't move those guys over there anymore to the left. Is because I'm assuming that's probably where the red line is. Alright, I just want to make sure we're maneuvering up because this one Dutch line infantry is pretty close. So I want to get some men into position there, and then we'll run the rest out to the far flank. Bring the Lancers a little bit closer. These guys are doing pretty good on their movements. Everything's looking dandy. So this is a pretty big battle for us, and it's pretty important we come out of this as lightly damaged as possible. Because we are at war with Hanover now, and we're gonna have to go take the Rhineland back from Hanover. You can see they're starting to shift more to our left again, so that's good. That allows us to really envelop them all the easier. So we're going to go ahead and move the Bulkleys up, get them positioned kind of in the center of our line. I guess you would call it the left of our right wing, because our center is kind of split up a little bit because of the town. All right, we're starting to get some shots in on this citizen. That's fine. We'll kill him off pretty quick. And that just gives us one less unit to worry about maneuvering around. We're going to go ahead and start moving these guys up, anticipating the loss of that citizen. And he's about to break. And we got the Lancer, or no, that's a Cav coming in after my Lancer. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get some shots in on him. Get him whittled down. Use 2 line infantry for that. Let's see if we can get our Lancers out of the way, because he's coming over here because of my Lancers. So we'll see if we can position ourselves in a way such that that Lancer wants to take damage from our line infantry while he's trying to go after our Lancer. It seems to be working. Set him up behind those 2 lines. Right, our lines over here are starting to get involved in the fray. We did rout off that citizen. We're going to go ahead and maneuver these guys around. So you can see now the envelopment taking place. We got it basically in 2 half circles that we're going to kind of bring together and make one big encirclement. And there's the other half circle. Sort of semi half circle, I guess you could say. All right, we're going to go ahead and press forward. We're going to hit them from both sides. Darn Cav did get away. I'm surprised we didn't kill more of them. It's kind of shocking. All right, so my section over here is under pretty good fire from these 2 line infantry over here, so we're going to roll them back a little bit. We'll bring these 2 Cav forward just to support. All right. Things are going pretty good there. So we're going to go ahead and close off this side here, really envelop them there. Okay. This Cav over here is being a real pain in the hiney. Got to try to get this circle back to being enclosed. So we did end up, when we fell back, kind of break that off a little bit. All right. Cav got in the back of one of my line infantry there. But both these units over here are starting to break. So that means we'll be able to compress this down quite a bit more, which will be really good for us. Let's go ahead and make that happen. All right, the cav's gone now finally, so let's go ahead and compress. Tighten the screw, if you will. We're working down this line infantry here too. That's great. We're going to go ahead and force in the plug bayonet. We're going to end this off. My Bulkleys are under melee over here already anyways, so let's go ahead and go to the bayonet. We got them encircled. This should be a big shock to them. They got routing units over there as it is going through their lines, so that should cause some morale drops on them as well. Let's get into him. There we go. That guy's broke. Let's get into the back of him. Let's get you in the fight. Boy, I'm so clunky with the controls on this at the moment. There we go. All these guys are starting to break. Let's get the Lancers up so they can run down anybody that we need to. We'll get him into the back of the artillery. That would be a good spot for him. But you can see this is pretty much won. We got the Dutch on the run. They have broken big time over here. Okay. I think that's it. We don't need to run them down because this is a city battle, fort battle, whatever. So we can just go ahead and end it. And yeah, that went really well. Yeah, we'll take a heroic victory. So guys, let me know in the comments below, have you hooked up a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to use it, or are you guys still struggling with the touch like I was? You can see we did quite a bit better. We lost 320. That's all we ended up losing out of our 1,600 men, and they lost 1,334. So absolute destruction of their army. Like I said, we came out of this pretty clean. We do have a little bit of damage, but we went into the battle with a damaged army. So you can see the Dutch are really in a tight spot. So this leaves us in a real advantageous position. But like I said, since the Hanoverians, how do you say that? Hanoverians, the riders of Hanover, because they got the horse on their banner. So they're almost like Rohan to me, the riders of Hanover. So we'll have to deal with them in Rhineland. But I might just bypass them and go straight for the Netherlands with this army. And we'll deal with Hanover. Because it actually might not be a bad situation if we have Hanover. Well, hold on. Let me not break into that theory of what I want to do yet. We'll leave that kind of a mystery, because I do have some plans. But we're going to add some more line infantry here in the capital of Paris, because number one, we do know that we have the Savoy boys still lurking. Over here in the French and Dutch Guyana, we're looking pretty good still. Want to make sure we're set up to, if the British do come over. Now, that British fleet that was coming with another army, it looks like they got wiped out by the pirates, so that was pretty awesome. Love it when the pirates come together. You know, it isn't always a bad thing to leave the pirates around sometimes. They do clear out the trade nodes from some of the other nations, so it can leave you with an open trade arena to jump into, which will be sending fleets to the trade nodes here as soon as we get enough fifth rates to accompany them, if you will. But we're not making much money, and I just recruited 5 more line infantry, so we're probably only going to get like 1,800 to spend after we end the turn, which is not really ideal, but we're going to make some moves. Don't worry about that. We are going to make some moves to increase our income. Number one, we need to go after, like I said, we need to figure out what we're going to do with Hanover, the riders of Hanover, and the Dutch. And I do believe we're going to be more aggressive towards the Dutch. But I have a theory. I guess I'll go ahead and spoil it. I think that Hanover, if I leave Flanders open, that they may move on Flanders, and that might be a good thing, because then that spreads them thin in both areas, so I can take them out in piecemeal in smaller armies, because I doubt they would take the whole entire force from Rhineland to take Flanders. So if they do that, if they split their force and they go and take Flanders, I take that army to take Amsterdam from the United Provinces, then that means I can move my army out of Alsace-Lorraine to take Rhineland, and then sweep back and take Flanders back as well. Because we can liberate Rhineland again, I believe, and make them become a nation again. So that's just my theory. We'll see how it goes down. All right, so in the meantime, we do have this battle here against the British fleet that we're going to go, and that actually is really nice, because that means we'll be able to add some sweet income, because I got a 5th rate and 2 4th rates, which will give me some juicy money. I'll probably take the 5th rate after we win this, because yes, we are going to win it. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to get after it. Okay, I can tell you this is so much nicer fighting this battle with the mouse and keyboard. Whew. I mean, I think I was doing way better in the naval battles than I was in the land battles with touch. But man, I still would do misclicks like very regularly. All right, they're breaking off, and now looks like they're going after my right wing, so we can break off. I'm not even going to use the 6th rate. Honestly, he'll just get in the way for me at the moment. All right, what are they doing here? Now it looks like they're sailing off on the right, which is not good. Ooh, I need to get flipped around here. I'm going to take a headlong shot. Hopefully that's the 5th rate, not the... I'm sorry, the 4th rate, not the 5th rate, because their range is shorter, and it looks like it is the case. So I got lucky on that, because I got a little bit too close. Lucky that that's the 4th rate leading and not the 5th rate. because the 5th rate would have me in range. So we'll pepper him with some shots. 6th rate, you need to go away. Okay, so while we're fighting this and busting down their mast on their sails, this is a good time to go ahead and say thank you to all my members of the channel. Without their support, this would not be possible. If you would like to become a member today, you can do so by clicking the join button below, and you can get access to exclusive content and also access to early access to videos such as this. And as I am going to be starting to stockpile a little bit better of a library of videos on for my members before they release to the regular public. All right, we got another mast down off that 4th rate, so that's good. The 5th rate should start breaking off with the other ship, but it looks like they're still stationary there. So maybe we have to go back over there and bust down that other mast off of him first. But anyways, yeah, this is going pretty well. Oh wow, they're finally starting to come after me. Finally. Okay, we're going to bring the other 5th rate behind them as we go ahead and work down the masts off these 2 other ships. There's one more 4th rate and one 5th rate coming at me right now. Yeah, with the mouse, I'm able to make tighter turns now on the naval battles. Because with touch, it seems like you can't really get that move to make those tight turns like you can with the mouse. All right, we got a mast down. We can go ahead and drop anchor because they're not really coming at me too fast here anyways. And since that one has been worked down, we'll go ahead and drop anchor and start shooting at this other one. Got the 5th rate behind, ready to come up and put some solid shot in the back of that first 4th rate that we knocked the mast off of. Speaking of which, we knocked the mast off of this other one, so now all 3 of the British ships have been dismasted, at least in some capacity, so. All right, our 5th rate behind is starting to lay some fire into that 4th rate, and we are continuing to work down the mast with this one. Drop anchor here for a minute. Okay. Looking good. Tell you what, they're taking their sweet time about giving up the fight, though. Probably start bringing my... Okay, we got another mast down off of the the fourth rate in the back. Looks like we got out of alignment a little bit there. Might have to start sailing this one a little bit. I'm starting to take shots. So let's go ahead and move this one out. And matter of fact, we'll move you forward. Let's get a shot with the side there. And then we'll come up close and get a shot. And that should hopefully put him into surrender mode. Okay, he surrendered. So we took a shot at the fifth rate. Let's get closer to this fourth rate here. There we go. Drop anchor. It looks like he surrendered. So we just got the fifth rate left. And he should break pretty quick. So I lay a shot in the back here. Nice shot to the backside and he'll give the fight up. Well, he's almost anyways. Let's go ahead and move the other fifth rate up towards the front. That should drop his morale. There he goes. All right, nice. Decisive victory. All right, I think this might be a good spot to go ahead and end. I know it's a little bit shorter of a video this time, but I've got a lot of things kind of going on. It's causing some disruptions. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video after this fight. And we will pick up right after this, and we'll find out what we're going to end up doing here versus the United Provinces, Hanover, and Savoy, who are our immediate threat. We're getting some decent money out of this. We are going to take the fifth rate, so it's going to leave us with 35.47 to the bank. It's going to be nice because, like I said, our income is kind of short at the moment, so that does help supplement it quite a bit. Hopefully the British send us another fleet here to take. Probably going to use that 1/5 rate to go ahead and send it to the Americas that I just captured over to the Guyanas, because we are taking on quite a bit of fleets there, so that will help protect the Guyanas from any more assaults, and I don't have to use those land troops there anymore. I can get them off taking other territories, because right now they're just costing me money holding up the base in the Guyanas. So that's kind of the plan there. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. It does help send the video out to other people, such as yourself. More exposure. We all like to expose ourselves a little bit, don't we? So help me expose myself. This doesn't even sound right. But anyways, you get the drift. The algorithm thing or whatever that they say. But as always, I appreciate you. We'll see you on the next part 7